Okay. Amazing.
Awesome.
Amazing. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. I am Dr. Michelle Peris. I'm a naturopathic doctor and I practice in Oakville, Ontario. I am the clinic director here at the Poppy Clinic. We are an integrative healthcare clinic. And our focus, our passion, our why is community and connecting women to each other. And when we were able to do that in a collective, we have a group called Rebel Tribe. And when we were able
tell us a little more about that after,
yes,
yeah? Okay.
I will. When we were able to successfully get women together and hang out during their healthcare journey, what we learned was that women were far more successful. They were able to transform their health. They had the support that they needed to do the things so that they could have the health that they really desire. And I think it's really forced me and motivated me to like switch the model in which I provide healthcare, because I truly believe that this is the kind of care that women want and need to be able to be successful in their health. And so I'm very proud that we are, shaking things up and doing things a little bit different here. It's a lot of fun.
I love it. Have you ever read Gretchen Rubin's For Tendencies?
Yes.
So do you think the communities, you're like, because so Gretchen Rubin she wrote the Happiness Project, she wrote a whole bunch of different books. And she has this sort of outline of what motivates people or why people do what they do. There is a little bit of feedback. It might be from the
I turned it down.
Awesome. Okay.
Sorry.
God, Michelle.
You with this check thing.
So, and her whole, and one of the things she says, the majority of people are obligers. And an obliger is somebody who, if they make commitments to themselves, they will not follow through. But if they make commitments to other people, they will follow through. And that's really important when it comes to taking care of yourself, right?
I don't think I've ever made that connection before, but yes. The brains of it's so true. It's so true though, right? Like I think, the mass majority of the population is obligers. And so when we put the obligers together and they have something to be accountable to, then they can leverage that as a motivation in terms of helping them be more successful in achieving their goals. That's brilliant. I'm going to say that again, Hannah. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I think it also, it's synergistic in that when you have an accountability partner, you're going to you are both going to take care of the things that you said you're going to take care of, but then you also feel responsibility to that person to help them achieve their goals as well. Right?
It was probably something that I learned from all the coaching that I've done, is that I've learned I'm very coachable, and that when I commit to someone and I say I'm going to do something, I execute on it. And so I think I probably took some level of that intelligence and put that into, well, what if we did that with our health? Not a bad idea. Yeah.
So, I mean, right now, I think everybody sort of is missing community. And so we know, I don't know, how do you structure when you're thinking, I think a lot of different healthcare professionals have different pillars of health, even though it's all the same. I think of pillars of health as like healthy eating, drinking water, exercise, sleep, healthy social connections, and stress management. So healthy social connections is a really important part. Important part, not tart. Part for me of having a healthy, balanced life. And really, if we don't have social connections, your health actually there's negative impacts there. How do you sort of visualize the framework, and pillars of health?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Yeah, so I think when I actually created Rebel Tribe is when I started first becoming very aware of the research that was available to us, that social isolation was the leading all-cause mortality. So say
that one, but let's not gloss over that. Can you say that again, given the health crisis that we are in?
Social isolation is the leading all cause mortality, more than cigarette smoking, more than poor nutrition, more than drinking alcohol. Isolation and loneliness is a bigger predictor of health or ill health and mortality than all of those.
And mortality is death rates, like not, morbidity. We're talking about mortality.
It's actually been shown that if you have prolonged isolation and loneliness, it can shorten your life expectancy by 8 years. It's as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes or drinking 6 alcoholic beverages per day. And I know that we would be talking to someone if they were drinking that much. And so much like we would tend to our physical health, we need to tend to our social health. And so this has radically changed the way I look at these pillars of health and how I even assess for social connection, because I feel such a responsibility now that I know this information to translate that information to my patient population, but then also ensure that we provide accessible resources for them to be successful in healing this for themselves. Because I think it's so critical that when we're on health and we have all these pillars that we think are important, that we also include the social connection, the support piece that makes all of those other lifestyle habits attainable.
So when when we're assessing, like as a physiotherapist, when I'm assessing things, when someone's like, I'm not getting better, and they're not sleeping, and they have they feel isolated, like especially new moms, I'm like, your muscles and your tissue doesn't recover when you're isolated, because it's part of like your brain and your body are one and the same, right?
Yeah. Like, I think it's so critical what you're picking up on there, because I think even in my own healing journey, I've learned how much like my physical body feels exactly what's going on. So it's so deeply intuitive. And it's when women need to hear that kind of messaging, as maybe that might be a reason why they're unable to heal, or why, things might still be going on for them, is that it goes much deeper than that they just had a baby and maybe have some pelvic floor weakness, right? Or whatever.
100%. So how do you assess in clinic? Like, how are you assessing somebody's social connections? Is that something you're assessing? You're like, you should come and join us, Rebel Tribe, or is somebody coming to Rebel Tribe and then they're joining it out? And I want to dive a little bit deeper into what Rebel Tribe actually is. I feel like we've skirted it, but in clinic, like when you're saying assessing social connections, like what are you doing to determine that?
Yeah. So I've actually called this connection inflectionitis. So it just sounds fancy for when I ask women, do you prioritize social connection? And you'll hear, yeah, that is like my gateway. That is my gateway to like dig deep. This woman, we need to talk about this, because I think especially that inflectionitis. You're welcome.
It's good.
I've been waiting to say that for so long, and someone received it the way that I was hoping for you to receive that. So thank you.
If I told you some of the things that I say in clinic, and I'm like, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, like I just made a pathology, okay? This is what's happening. Yeah. So when I hear that there's like something behind that, that's when I start to dig deeper and actually start to unpack this social connection piece and explain to them why we're even talking about this. Because I think it is a bit of a revolutionary act, because people are like, well, why are we talking about this? But you and I know, especially the vulnerable population that we work with, that this is so key to a woman's postpartum experience, perinatal, how she responds to that, and how she labels certain things maybe as trauma or not trauma. So like it is so key that we like dive deeper on this. So yes, I am actually asking very specific questions, like how often, who do you feel energized or lower energy after these experiences? Like I just really try and create some clarity, even if there's like anxiety, mood disruption, postpartum, sleep disruption. That is also lonely people end up in the doctor's office. So it is our due diligence and our responsibility to screen for it. And so they may show up with physical symptoms, and really what's underlying it is loneliness or isolation, and they might just not know how to communicate that because there might be shame or embarrassment around that, or they don't realize that it needs to be prioritized the way it needs to be prioritized. But I do think, especially in that critical prenatal, perinatal, postnatal time, we hung out in tribes. It is so visceral that this was the way we connected. And so when we start to have these conversations and let them know that this is important and that there are resources for them to transform this, I think there's like an immediate connection and they want to be a part of that.
I mean, what did we say? Like women, it takes a tribe, right? It takes a village to support a woman, and we've essentially lost that village. So I think that it's really easy to sort of gloss over the fact that we don't have this community until all of a sudden you become a parent and you actually need it around you. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, like what is going on?
It was really strange, but societally, I think we started evolving to like, that there was a sense of pride, like you could handle it all on your own. We were never designed to. That was never the plan.
No, and we're still sort of fighting that as well, right? Like, and I think that a lot of the reasons why people don't feel great in the first year is because they run themselves ragged trying to do it all without that social connection, without that support system, without all the pieces that we actually need, just trying to prove that they don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
So what's Rebel Tribe?
So Rebel Tribe is challenging this narrative for women. So really the word rebel came about because I actually am a rebel.
Gretchen Rubin has
by Gretchen. Yes. So as Gretchen,
I'm an obliger with the rebel tendencies. There you go. I know.
So
I dabble.
You dabble. So for me, it was like breaking through this archetype of being all things to all people. And the tribe piece was really creating a movement. It was a type of connection, a type of sisterhood that I think is not available to every woman. And because for me growing up, social connection with women wasn't always easy. It wasn't always smooth. I had my own opinions about it not being safe. And so I really had this deep mission and purpose to revolutionize this and change this narrative, not only for myself, but for the women I had the privilege to serve. And so it is a closed group on purpose. It is a 10-month program on purpose. And we meet, it's long. It's once a month for 2 hours for 10 months. So it's like a school semester. And that's exactly how school year, I designed it to feel like that. So we're going to have a curriculum on women's health. You're going to learn the things that you need to know to self-advocate, to feel empowered in your healthcare experience, and to know your body, to know your physiology, to start leaning into the feminine and trusting your intuition, and really being able to be like an empowered member in your healthcare experience, and also like understand how your body's speaking to you. So we talk about menstrual cycle and detox and digestion and mental health and blood sugar regulation and thyroid health and breast and vaginal health. And it's this wonderful thing, which truly half sisterhood, half self-care. So we spend half of the time connecting and having very high vibration conversations, very intentional conversations. And so interesting is some women will come from wonderful connection and community and feel like, why is it that I would join another one? Right. A lot of women aren't having these conversations even with their best of friends. So I feel like there's a need for that facet to be like fulfilled in women. And then for women who don't feel like they have connection, or it hasn't historically been safe for them, then we spend so much time in creating a space that is safe and supportive for all who are a part of it. And so connection is a huge piece. That's why it's so long, because these women end up actually graduating and being very, very close. And so much so that we've actually created 2 graduated programs because they want to keep working together. Yeah. So some women have been in our office once a month for 10 months for 3 years because they're so deeply connected. Yeah. So it is this beautiful project that's turned into something where now we stretch all the way across Canada. We're in the US. There's hundreds of women, soon to be thousands, that are going to be able to access this type of care that I think is so important for women to feel like nourished and supported, but also like actually make the health, like actually be successful in their healthcare goals. But these women become brave and they start to speak their truth and they start to up level in every aspect in their life. And it's just like, it's a beautiful thing to witness and be a part of. I don't think I'll ever get sick of it because it's just, the journey is quite beautiful.
So nice. That's amazing. Yeah. So, okay, I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Why do you think that women are not talking about these things with each other? Like, why are we, I mean, you know, my clients, like they come in like, I have something, you know, I hope you don't mind if I tell you, but like, you know, I'm having pain with sex. And I'm like, listen, literally what I do, like, just cannot embarrass me. Right. But why do you think that there's this shame around having those conversations? I have one of my 4 children about to arrive to hang out with us. No, she's not. So change her diaper.
COVID life. Yeah. I always like make that joke that like, it's so funny that people become so weary to talk to us about things. I'm like, I could actually be eating like liquid soup that looks like it came from digestive system, and you could be talking about stool and I'd be like, go on, like
tell me more.
We talk about this all day. I don't know why we have so much shame about it. I think historically as women, there hasn't been, you know, we didn't see our moms share, our grandmothers didn't tell our moms even that they were getting their period. So I think it is like, it has a lineage to that, not sharing a story.
Baby is coming.
If you've attempted to share and you've experienced any sort of social rejection, that really, it doesn't also encourage it. And also I think the way our healthcare visits are structured, the way our healthcare visits are structured, you know, there's a limited amount of time, and we didn't know, like, it's so funny that a lot of the times, like, the therapeutic value of what I do has to do with the fact that we just have
sitting and listening
to a woman share their story.
Making space for them.
Yeah.
My child is leaving the room because I love her and I want to give you the time that you need.
Thank you. I feel
You're welcome.
So I don't know. I feel like it's not been historically celebrated for women to tell their truth and to share in that way. And so, you know, that's the part I found fascinating. I thought I was maybe for like the lonely, but I'm there for the connected too, because they also don't feel like they're talking about speaking their truth or trusting their guts. Like, these are still different concepts for them, that they're not like, hey, let's have a conversation about this. There just isn't the platform for them to do that. Now that they know that that's possible, hopefully they'll take that out and do that in the world.
Yes.
So that maybe our daughters do have different conversations and feel like it's totally normal to talk about stool or painful sex with their pelvic floor physiotherapist, right?
There you go. Or their friends.
Yeah.
And not to be like, that's normal. Oh, ha, ha, ha. It's not.
Yeah. Right. Right. And yes, you're bringing up another important point, but like what you watch on TV that maybe affirms that, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Birth is painful. Birth is painful. Birth is painful. Like, couldn't be anything other. Like, right. So it's very influential.
And the best kind of mother is the one who's skinny and fit and has it all together and loves every moment. Yes. Yes. You're only doing it right if you do it in this one way.
Right.
The one thing that interests me as well is women who did not have great relationships with other women are building beautiful relationships with women within this like safe community. So what do you think was unsafe, or what did they perceive as unsafe beforehand? And what can you provide? Like, what does Rebel Tribe provide that makes it safer for them?
It's a really good question. I think we spend a lot of time up front talking about the responsibilities of tribe members and what kind of environment we are creating so that it's free of judgment, and it's a supportive environment. I also think the success of what we do and what makes us unique is that the facilitator is absolutely responsible for showing up in a vulnerable way to create a space of permission that this is the way we do things. And I think if the facilitator isn't doing that, the members will never get there. So the leader really has to lead the way there. And if you are showing women that you like life doesn't end when you go and you share something vulnerable, in fact, another woman might actually heal from your story because it is so similar, and you're normalizing the human experience for them, that has actually become my superpower. You actually start to believe that I actually need to work on my own story. I need to start owning this for myself, because your mess is your message. Your, like, and I got that from Adele, but to not take credit for that, but like, that is the key. And so I think why we do things so differently is the leader shows up in a way, and they have a responsibility for holding that space. And when they do that successfully, it gives everyone else permission to know that this is the level that is okay. And we absolutely, like, we spend a lot of time up front actually talking about like how this community works and how it's unique and how we protect certain parts for women.
Do you think that because you're leading a group, so as you evolve, do you see the group evolving, or do you see like similarities each time, or is every experience different because you grow and then come to the group as a different person?
I like your questions. You have fun questions.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a number of things there. For me, community wasn't a historically safe thing. So I played it really safe the first round because I was so afraid of rejection because I had experienced it so many times in my life. So I definitely,
as a teenager, as a human.
Yeah, human. Go back. Like, absolutely. I felt like an alien in my own female relationships growing up.
Yeah.
And then I really felt like I could always find my way. I could always fit in. I could be popular because that was important to me for gosh knows why. But I never belonged anywhere.
Yeah.
And it really, until I met my people in naturopathic medicine. And then when I had that feeling, it was like, I want the world to know this is possible. This feels so good,
Yeah.
So, I probably wouldn't be so passionate if I hadn't had that evolution, right? My mess is my message. So
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So, so them, my first tribe accepting me and letting me grow in that way and loving me in that way made me braver. My second group really challenged me, and a collective of any kind has its own energy. So they're always going to be different. But the third time in, I am super comfortable. I hold nothing back. I'm very brave with my storytelling, and it's very intentional. And it's like they're all so unique. The collective is unique, and how I am in those collectives has been an evolution. So that's why I think you don't get bored of it. I don't think you can tire of it.
And now you're evolving again, right? So this was formerly an in-person get together once a month, and now we are going virtual.
Yes. So we had to pivot very quickly. It was always an intention to take Rebel Tribe virtually, but nothing like COVID to make us do a really quick turnaround. So we actually took all of our in-person groups and put them in online almost immediately. And it was so smooth. And I think even seeing that there was no compromise in the connection, there was virtually no disruption. Actually, some women expressed feeling more comfortable being on their couch sharing that information, that it was really inspiring, that like, being that we probably need each other now more than ever, I think it is our due diligence and responsibility to show up for women who want to access this kind of care during this time, because I don't know when we're going to be able to meet in person and sit less than 6 feet apart from each other.
Right. I absolutely love that. So right now we do need more people, our community more than ever. And you are launching Rebel Tribe right now.
Yes,
right?
I am.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So we have 2 more info sessions. We have one tonight at 7:00, and we have one on Saturday at 11 a.m., both Eastern Standard Time. And that is just an opportunity to get women together and see what this isn't what this is all about. Like, come date us, come hang out, come see what we're all about. If you're curious, all you need to know is that you're curious about what this kind of care could be like for you, what this kind of community could be for you. And then we explain everything and give you all of the backstory and the process and everything that's included. And so we've got amazing bonuses this time around. So not only do we have all the community and the sisterhood and the self-care pieces, but we have mindset coaching and strategy sessions. And we've really turned this into a thing where I think women will feel deeply supported and very rooted in the process and be very successful on their journey. So
even though you're apart, you're still like, you're actually providing them with, it sounds like, a way, almost like you're taking an amazing program and then like you're just drizzling lots of icing on that cake, you know?
I love you for saying that. Yes, we did. We poured more love onto it because we realized like we just want women to have what they need right now, because I think we're both concerned about like the catastrophic effects in terms of like long-term mental health and loneliness is going to have during this time. And so we just want to be there for the people who need us and provide answers and clarity and support.
Love it.
In this time.
So, and if, for women who are watching right now and they're not sure if Rebel Tribe is right for them, or they're just looking, what would you say would be the first step for them to connect with somebody else or to build community on their own?
Yeah, so it's a really fantastic question. I think, especially right now, I think if this hasn't been historically a safe thing for you, to reach out to people you do trust and show up as a leader by reaching out to them and saying, I'm just checking in on you, just to see how good that feels to be of service in that way. And then
like harassing them, for example.
Like who are you using as an example? I love you. Other thing is that if you're like, have no idea what that would even look like, Facebook's a really great place for that. Like, what is your interest? What do you want to know more about? Join a group and connect with the community. Yeah, exactly. And, eventually get online to get offline, exchange numbers when it feels safe, connect, chat, hug family members if they're in your home and you're able to do that. Turn off the TV, turn off the tech, have dinner. The one thing I thought was so lovely listening to women of Rebel Tribe this week is like a lot of them have started participating in more family dinners, and they weren't doing that before, and they're just sitting around hanging out and having conversations. And so I think when we have like these little moments where we feel heard and valued, it's like revolutionary. So, if it's not in your home, get online to find those connections, because they are out there for you. And Rebel Tribe is virtual, so we'd love to be that for you. So there's so many amazing free services right now too, I think. And communities like your Facebook community that, you show up there all the time. You're amazing. So there is a way. Yeah. There's a way to feel deeply connected right now. And so we have to 100% prioritize it, knowing now that you can't unknow what we've told you. You have to now just prioritize it and find a way to connect.
I think that one of the, COVID has provided us with many things that are not necessarily gifts, but one of the gifts is the gift of time and the gift of slowing down and the ability to just stop in order to find those connections. Mm-hmm. So I love everything about you.
I love everything about you.
If people are wanting to know more about you and find you and connect with you, or more about Rebel Tribe, where can they find it?
Yes. So go to michelleperis.com to find more about me. I'm on Instagram at Dr. Michelle Peris. And if you want to look at more of the information, I will actually click the link of our info sessions in your Facebook post. Or you can go to michelleperis.com/Rebel Tribe, and that has all the information there for you too.
Amazing. You are a light in my life. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
You are the best. I can't wait to hang out again.
Yeah. Ditto, girlfriend. I think you're the best. So thank you for allowing me to share with your community.
My pleasure. You are amazing. And we'll chat soon.
Okay. Sounds good.